I'm Ann Gienap, Director with ORS Impact.
And I'm Jane Reisman. I'm a Social Impact Advisor and the Founder and Senior Advisor to ORS Impact. And today we want to talk about our article, which is the article where we share what we learned about the Nuclear Security Initiative for the Hewlett Foundation and its exit after a 7-year, $24.7 million investment.
A couple of the main points of our article. First, as the foundation exited from the Nuclear Security Initiative, it asked a big question: was it the right thing to exit when we did? In part, it was difficult to address this question because of the retrospective evaluation model. Two aspects of that model were particularly problematic. First, there was a focus on defined and time-bound metrics for operationalizing success. And second, that formative and summative evaluation design made it challenging. By digging deeper and moving beyond targets, we surfaced some of the most crucial outcomes that were not as easily visible, such as research that was more attuned and responsive to the policy context, crisper, more targeted, and more effective communications by grantees, and stronger alignment and coordination and more successful working relationships among actors advocating for policy and systems change. For those most focused on metrics, these type of changes can be typically marginalized, disregarded, or deemed as process measures. But we argue that that perspective needs to be flipped. In the case of the Nuclear Security Initiative, these outcomes were essential to driving impact, and concrete targets were more of a distraction. Secondly, successful initiative exits require intentionality and transparency regarding the timeline and the wind-down approach. Although stakeholders and partners were informed about the exit, there was uncertainty right up until the initiative's conclusion, and organizations had to make hard choices about where to focus their energy.
So we want to offer a piece of advice that we give to someone to apply based on what we learned in preparing this article after conducting this evaluation. And that is to use caution about the defined observable metrics as representing the reality of a continually changing and dynamic context shaped by political, social, economic, and other forces. In the specific case of our article, nuclear security cannot be reduced to a narrow set of metrics and targets. And this is especially important when talking about exit strategies, because exit decisions often hinge upon the question about, is there a value add of our investing in this space? And metrics fall short of providing the critical information for that kind of decision making.